Honourable member for Drumheller-Stettler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The law of unintended consequences is a rule articulated by reputed economists who point out that the actions of people, and especially of government, will often have effects that are unanticipated or unintended. It seems that this government simply does not consider this concept of unintended consequences. The cost of energy is a shining example of how what was perceived to be in the public interest can go horribly wrong. Recently, my constituency offices in Drumheller-Stettler have received several calls concerning the consequence of this government's energy policy, proving that typically and unfortunately unintended consequences often land at the feet of our most vulnerable and those least equipped to handle it. I'm getting calls from single mothers, the disabled, and seniors who are indicating that Alberta's legislators have failed when it comes to securing energy. It's disheartening, Mr. Speaker, to hear people on the phone saying that they have to decide, do I eat or do I have electricity? Up till now, this government has generally resorted to blaming the previous government or another level of governments for problems. But, Mr. Speaker, doing such a thing will not keep anyone's lights on, heat a home, and it definitely will not feed anybody. What would help these struggling Albertans is if this government cancelled its crippling carbon tax, that would keep hard-earned money in people's pockets and lessen the burden when it comes to utility costs. It is imperative that we all remember that real people suffer real consequences that affect their lives and their families, Mr. Speaker. Regardless whether consequences were intended or otherwise, matters very little to the senior sitting in the dark or a single mother wondering how she can possibly keep lights on and feed her children. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member.